So the movie starts out with our introduction to Cady, who is played by the iconic Lindsay Lohan. Now, Cady is the new girl in school, and she just moved to this school from Africa, where she grew up, spending most of her life being homeschooled. So she's been quite isolated compared to the other children in the school. And this is her first time really stepping out into the society. And she, of course, wants to make friends and she wants to fit in. Now, what we should know about Cady is she's really good at maths. And she also says, like, the reason that she's so into maths is because maths is the same in every language. So it has, like, some sort of deep meaning to her. Now, at the beginning of the film, she makes friends with Janice and Damien, who are known as the art freaks. Now, Cady's style at the beginning really has a relaxed and outdoor feel, and I think this makes sense considering the fact that she apparently spent like her entire life like in the savannas of Africa. But she has a very like tomboy style, I guess you would say at the time. Like she wears cargo pants, like kind of like outdoorsy pants, and these like outdoorsy shoes that look very practical but are really ugly to look at, as well as sometimes wearing like flip-flops. And she wears also t-shirts that cover her arms, all in very neutral colors, grays, browns, khaki tones, as well as like this plaid button-up situation. Now one day, Cady is cutting class with Janice and Damien when we are introduced to the plastics. Now the way we are introduced to the plastics says a lot not only about their own perception of themselves and their own style, but also the way the rest of the school perceives them. Now, this is a gym class that we are observing. Everyone else is in their like normal gym class outfits, like sweatpants type thing, athletic shirt. And of course, the plastics are just a little bit different. They are wearing cropped shirts and very tiny little shorts. And not only is Regina looking beautiful with her like blown out hair going to gym class, but she is like literally being carried by this group of students, like have this cult around her, like she's kind of like a godlike figure in the school. So the plastics are considered to be the most popular girls in high school and also the hottest girls in high school. So let's talk a little bit about their style. Their style has distinct preppy, cutesy and sexy feel to it. Like if you would mix all of those things together, and I feel like each of the girls really embodies a certain aspect of that style, which we will get into later. But there are certain points in which they all have corresponding things that make up the basis of their style, as we can understand it like that. So they all wear really short skirts, high heels to class, which I don't know when's the last time you were in high school, but I don't think I wore high heels to high school one time, except for like our school dance. But they're wearing like full on high heels to school, wearing tiny little crop tops. They have definitely a love of pastel colors. You will see a lot of pinks and blues especially. The hair is fully done up and they're wearing full makeup. And they have these tiny little 2000 bags, which I just love. I absolutely love. As well as these, I don't know what to call them. I'm just going to call them like logo tees, but they're so very off the time. And they say things like rebel or bling bling or socialite. And they're all kind of in the same font. And that reminds me so much of the time. Like I was quite young in the early 2000s, but I definitely saw those going around. And they also have a tendency for like cohort sets or like matching outfits, like the colors match, or like it's very matchy. Now I thought it would be fun to discuss each girl by girl. So first we're gonna start with Regina, because where else would we start? Regina is definitely known as the hottest girl in school, but she is also a bitch, which is quite obvious from the name Mean Girls. Then we have Gretchen, who's the sidekick, and her family is super rich because her dad invented the toaster strudel, which I have questions. And she also knows the secrets of everyone. Don't forget that part. Then we also have Karen, who I feel like analyzing this movie, you kind of really see how much this character is forgotten. And maybe it kind of makes sense for the fact that her character is seen as the dumbest of the group or the dumbest girl in the entire school. And because of that, she kind of just blends into the background. She doesn't have anything that really makes her unique apart from the fact that her boobs can tell when it's raining. Which, I mean, that's great. That is really great for her. We are happy for her. Now, Regina's style definitely leans into more of the sexy aspect of the plastic style. We see her wearing knee-high boots multiple times during the movie. Like, of course, this iconic scene of the Jingle Bell Rock where they're all wearing those black knee-high, what almost looks like latex boots, or like, no, it's leather boots and the rest of the outfit is latex. Like this, it's very sexy. It's a great Halloween costume for anyone, or costume in general, like whenever you need one, like keep it in the back of your heads. But she also has these white ones with the fur at the top that she uses for her Halloween costume, and she also wears it a few times, like throughout the movie, to class. Going along with that sexy feel to her outfits, she also wears this leather mini skirt in the movie, which I feel like is a perfect depiction of the way she interprets the plastic style. We see the short skirt on the plastics in almost every scene, and it's most often seen as almost like a tennis skirt, athletic skirt type vibe, which was also really popular in the time. And her being the only character who wears this in leather really emphasizes the fact that she is the sexy one. Now, she's also always seen with her monogram necklace and almost always seen with these hoops. And the story behind the hoop earrings, which Gretchen also later tells us, is that Regina is the only one in the group who is allowed to wear these hoop earrings. So it's definitely more a Regina thing. She also has these monogrammed PJ sets, for example. So she really leans into like monograms. Like she is Regina George and she wants you to know it. Now she also, and almost in everything, especially at the beginning, has this long blonde loose hair that has clearly been blown out. And it really makes up this perfect image of the beautiful, sexy blonde chick. Now, Gretchen definitely has my favorite style out of all of the plastics, and that's because she really leans into those preppy elements. We see her in a lot of argyle or plaid patterns. She wears more classy jewelry, as in like seems to be real silver and real diamond. She wears the very preppy, sporty tennis skirts, and as well as this like very iconic Hermes tennis skirt. We also see her in like this Hermes print, like plaid printed belt. And I do think that Hermes has a very expensive old money association with it. And her coming from a lot of money does make a lot of sense why she would be able to afford those brands. Now, something that is also unique to Gretchen compared to the other plastics, is her choice of the color orange. We do see her in a lot of orange through the movie, and it does complement the actress playing Gretchen's character's skin tone perfectly. It is so beautiful. We do also see her in a lot of cardigans, further perpetuating kind of that like preppy, not sporty, like more preppy style. And even when we see her at home in her natural habitat, she does wear very classy lingerie. Now let's talk a little bit about Karen's style, because it is definitely not as iconic as the other two. And watching this movie with the sole purpose of analyzing these outfits has made that clear to me how much, and I think I mentioned this earlier, how much Karen is really just a side character. She does not come into her own. She does not really have her own personality, and maybe that truly is due to the fact that she is seen as dumb. But we really don't get to know Karen, and I wish we could, because she seems very nice as well. But who knows? Is that all an act? Like, I don't know, because we've not been given enough of Karen. But she does have a lot of cute elements to her style. Like, she wears like this baby doll dress as part of her Halloween costume. She wears all pink outfits. She has these bold details on her clothes. A lot of like sweetheart, or like these, what's that called? I would say sweetheart neckline. She wears a lot of that. She wears the skirt with the hearts on it. So really like sweet, almost childlike details to her clothing. The moment where Cady gets into contact with the plastics. So one day she's on her merry little way, walking through the cafeteria, and Regina's like, hey, blah, 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 ends up, do you want to sit with us for lunch for the rest of the week? Now, at first, Cady's a little bit hesitant, but then she has a conversation with Janice and Damien where they're like, hey, do this for us, report back to us with everything they say, and be our little spy on the inside, which very fast turns into, let's take this bitch down. And as Cady gets more and more integrated into the rest of the plastics, we do see a very big transformation in her personal style. Now, during the period, what I'm going to call the transition period, she does start wearing, first of all, like her normal clothes, but a little bit cuter, like a little bit tighter shirts, a little tiny bit cropped shirts where you can like see the 1 inch of stomach, which was like quite iconic to the time. We just do see her starting to wear a little bit more camisoles and cardigans with her jeans and like the soft plastic approved pastels, and in general putting more effort into her appearance with like the cute ponytails and like starting to wear some lip gloss. And we still see her wearing her bracelet, but this is also the point where she takes it off. I don't know if I've mentioned the bracelet before in this video, but it's this bracelet that her mother got her in Africa. So it does have a very big nostalgic factor for her, of like her roots and where she comes from and her connection to her family. And this is also the point where she takes it off and she makes the transition into the full plastic. Now at this point, she does wear a lot of pink and blues, which is very iconic for the plastics. She's already wearing the short skirt. She starts wearing the high heels to class. Absurd. She has the full hair done. Like the curls, she ends up wearing full face of makeup. And she's even goes so far plastic that she's wearing this awful preppy college shirt with sweater combo, which we do see the rest of them wearing throughout the film. And we also see her kind of morphing more and more into Regina, and ways she does this that like signals to us that she is becoming a Regina replacement, as she's also wearing a monogram necklace. She has this tiny Louis Vuitton bag, which is very similar to the tiny Louis Vuitton bag that Regina has early in the movie. She's starting to wear earrings that are not hoops, but very hoop-esque, kind of like the heart hoop earring, or like the diamond hoop earring instead of the traditional round hoop earring. Now, one thing that she does that the other plastics don't do is she starts to wear more and more red. Not to say that we don't see Regina at some points in the movie wearing red, but we do associate the color red kind of with Cady's power. When she's seducing Aaron, she's wearing red, and when she's like taking the place of Regina, she's wearing red. Now, at the same time as Cady is having her complete rise to power, we do see Regina falling from her place of power, because Cady, Janice, and Damien are secretly plotting behind the scenes to take Regina down. Now they identified 3 factors that keep Regina at the top. Her Aaron Samuels, her man Candy or boy Candy, whatever they say, her army of skanks, aka her friends, and her hot body. So they attempt to destroy all of those things in her life. Now, one of the first things they do is they cut holes in her shirt in this white tank top that then show her bra. And this really just shows what a big influence Regina has on the rest of the school. Because you would think, oh, for someone else, if that would happen, it would be the most embarrassing thing ever. Is that what happens to Regina? No. Every girl in the school copies her immediately because they're like, this is the hottest girl ever. If she does it, I'm gonna do it. And then Cady also at this point convinces her to eat these Caltine bars that are apparently bars that they give to starving children in Africa to make them gain weight. And she's like, no, you're gonna lose so much weight, you're gonna be so skinny. So Regina basically starts living off these bars and like following an all carb diet. We literally see her at one point in the movie eating like an entire baguette. Like I'm talking like she's eating the baguette. So at first, lo and behold, she's looking great. Like her boobs are bigger, she is sexy as fuck. But as the time goes on through the movie, we do see her starting to lose weight. And it is at this point that her confidence also starts to falter. She does not fit in her clothes, she does not feel good in her body, and she starts to wear a lot more comfortable clothes, and I guess things that still fit her, that fit her before, like some sweatpants and hoodies. And we also see her taking her hair out of her face. Like she always has her hair blown out, loose, very beautiful. And it's at this point where she starts putting it in a clip. And I guess the implications of that is that she's just feeling so bad about herself that she just doesn't even have the energy to put that effort in, which I think we've all been there. And like watching this movie, again, we have to remember it's not just Regina that's the mean girl. Like Cady and Janice, they're also mean. Like doing this to Regina, like that's total mean girl behavior. And I do feel sorry for Regina having to go through that. Not to say that she was a good person, but I do feel bad for her. Now, at the peak of all this drama, where Regina realizes that she's lost her place at the top and that Cady has replaced her, is when she takes the opportunity to publish this burn book, which then turns into utter chaos at school when all of these girls can read all of these horrible things that were written about them. And it's also this moment that then leads into a transformation for the rest of the characters for the remainder of the movie. So there's a lot of other stuff that happens. We have the prom where Cady gets voted prom queen, and oh, did I say Regina got pushed in front of? Regina walked into a bus. But let's talk a little bit about how the characters evolve after this point in the movie where the burn book does get published. Cady ends up joining the mathletes, which she's really good at and challenges her in a good way, which we love to see that, even if it's social suicide. Like it makes her happy. She's doing her thing. And she does rekindle her relationship with Janice and Damien, which I'm really happy about because they're the best people in the entire movie. And she also gets voted prom queen, mostly because people think she pushed Regina in front of a bus, which says a lot. So we see her style at this point also start to transition. Now she doesn't go fully back to the style that we saw her in at the beginning, and kind of becomes like a mixture between her plastic style and her style at the beginning. And I think she kind of took the pieces from all the things that she liked and put them together. So she starts wearing jeans again, like which she did not, I think, at all do during her period of like the plastic. She was just wearing those short skirts the whole time. And the more practical, comfortable shoes, like she's not wearing heels to class, but she does keep the fully done up hair, which looks absolutely beautiful on Lindsay Lohan, like these waves. And like she does keep the lip gloss, and she continues to wear what I would call the casually cute top. Like it's cute, enough that, no, it is cute, but it's also comfortable enough that you can like wear it on the daily. Now, after Regina gets run over the bus, we do see her for a while, like for example, also at prom in this head neck brace type of thing. And after that, she does apparently join a sports team. Like, it looks to me like lacrosse or hockey. I'm not sure. I'm not good with sports. But her style takes like a full 180, and it becomes a lot more casual and sporty, I guess, to match that. And I do think sports for Regina is great. Like, she definitely has the energy for it. And then we see Karen as well, and she joins the school's news channel, where she's like able to report on the weather using her boobies to tell if it's raining, which we love that for her. And once again, Karen is done dirty in this movie. Like, we don't see such a massive change for Karen because it's also hard to compare to the almost nothing we had before. So, like, but she does seem to move away from like the classic plastic persona. Like, she's not wearing any pink, and she's like dressed a little bit more professionally, which like she's on the news channel. I wish we were given extra scenes at the end of the movie, but we were not. But it's still a little bit cute and sweet, which like matches her general vibe. Now, Gretchen, of course, does find a new queen bean to serve, because who would she be without someone else's gossip? Like, she lives on it. And she does get to finally wear the hoop earrings. Now, I'm gonna say, I don't like Gretchen's outfit at the end. What is she wearing? Like, I loved Gretchen and the plaid and the argyle and the preppy, because I felt like throughout the rest of the movie they were kind of showing us like this is what she likes, and she like adapted what she liked to fit the plastic style. But then at the end of the movie she's like wearing something completely else. So I'm gonna reject the last outfit. They could have done better, and I do not like it. She's not even wearing her curled hair. Like, she's wearing the straight hair. Don't get it. Don't get it. Now, to end the movie, let's talk about one character who didn't have any sort of style transformation or anything like that, but who was fucking epic. So we're gonna talk about Janice. Janice is very artistic. She marches to the beat of her own drum. She does what she wants, and she does not care what anyone else thinks. And I do think her style perfectly represents that. Also, the fact that her style stays the same no matter what happens in the movie just speaks volumes to her character and her how comfortable she is in her own skin and presenting herself to the world. Now, she has this what seems to be dyed black hair, but I mean it could be natural. It's like very, very black. She has the heavy black eyeliner. She has a lot of piercings in her ears as well. She's like, I love it, I love it, I love it. These cute little hair accessories, like sometimes I like a little spider clip, or like I do think it shows a lot of her character, like through the types of things she puts in her hair, even though she has, I think in almost every scene, the same hairstyle, but the way she styles it every time is a little bit different and makes it like very fun to like see what's exactly in her hair in each scene. Now she often outfit repeats, which I think also more speaks to the fact that like she knows what she likes and she likes what she likes. She has these black high top combos that I think she wears in every scene, and she often wears them with like striped. I cannot see what it is. Like sometimes it's like socks. I don't know if it's always socks or if sometimes it's also like stockings or leggings, but she wears them like these striped leg coverings with this black long skirt. She also does wear these jeans that look like they've been like DIY'd with this almost sun pattern on them. They're very cool. And she does incorporate a lot of layers. She always wears like this heavy, almost like army style jacket and a lot of band tees. That is all that I have to share for today. And I am thinking about doing like a comparison video between the 2004 and the 2024, yeah, this year, the new Mean Girls movie in terms of style, because I have watched both. So maybe check back on my channel at some point to see if the video is there. Subscribe to make it a little bit easier, and until then, I wish you a great evening and a good life.